Welcome to General Hospital News Channel. Subscribe to the channel and click subscribe to not miss any videos. General Hospital vandals teased that Kevin Collins would share the bad news with Laura Collins. Laura was terrified when she saw the floating rib explosion. Lulu Spencer was trapped under the rubble, and Max Scorpio had to keep Laura from rushing into the nearly collapsed building looking for her daughter. Dante Falconeri was able to go in and find Lulu, get her out of the wreckage and take her to the general hospital. There, she had to check on herself and make sure she was okay before going in to meet her boyfriend Dustin Phillips, who is seriously injured. Dante arrives to check on him for her, and unfortunately shows up and has to give her terrible news as she sits with Laura outside the room where Dustin was taken away. He didn't make it, but his last words tell Dante to take care of Lulu, and give him the engagement ring he plans to put on her finger when the explosion happens. What's the bad news Laura's husband has to give her? Is Lulu okay? With the other person Laura loved, the one in the blast would be fine, was Cameron Weber. He appears to have broken his leg, and although he and Laura are not related by blood, Elizabeth was married at the same time as Lucky Spencer, Laura's son, so they were related. Sadly, the person who played Lulu, Emma Ryland, had to leave the show about a month ago, and although she was unable to discuss the work, she said that it was not her choice. Lulu somehow got out of frame, though it's still unclear how Lulu's character will be. Elizabeth will be relying on Scott Baldwin on the day Kevin gives Laura bad news, so it could be about the same scenario, or two different scenarios. Franco Baldwin was also seriously injured, his head injury due to brain tumor had recurred. The bad news may make Liz count on Scott, but with Franco helpless, bad news about her son, Cameron could affect both Liz and Laura. Kevin works in the hospital as a psychiatrist, and so he could be the one getting any bad news to tell Laura as her husband. Laura is addressing the mayor's duties in responding to a crisis that could impact Port Charles public. Lulu may not have examined herself thoroughly, and she could get worse, and possibly die. Cameron's broken leg can cause a blood clot to the brain and kill him. No one was mentioned in the upcoming reveal for the coming week, so it could be one of them. Obviously, Laura would be devastated in a way, but it would affect her much worse if Lulu died. Either way, she would be angry knowing the explosion was deliberately staged and angry. Julian Jerome was a man who died walking after the horror he inflicted on Port Charles. Julian was gullible enough to believe that Cyrus Renault would wait until Jason Morgan was alone to detonate the bomb. The truth was that Cyrus didn't care who was killed in that blast as long as Jason was going to die. Julian faced even more problems because the bomb didn't kill Jason. Jason is still alive and well, but Julian probably won't be long. The General Hospital chose to sink Julian quite low because he nearly killed his own grandson. Danny Morgan was at the floating rib with his father, so he escaped death easily, and that's thanks to grandfather Julian. Dev and Dustin Phillips are dead. Lulu Spencer may also face a grim fate before this nightmare ends. Maybe Lulu will go into a coma or die. The sad part is that none of these. Julian can't even beat his target, so all is a wasteful explosion. If Cyrus didn't kill Julian because of his incompetence and let loose leading to being tied up, Sonny Corinthos and Jason Morgan would have settled for him. Sonny just received some important information from Britt Westbourne, who explained that Julian was in a state of embracing his child. Julian wasn't part of that conspiracy in the first place, but he is still involved. Sonny was clearly unhappy about Julian keeping Wiley Quartermain Corinthos away from Michael Corinthos. Immediately after the infant swap was exposed, Sonny once warned that Julian would be in trouble if he found out that Julian was involved. Brad Cooper turned down Britt for telling Sonny the truth, and that's because he knew that Julian was more likely to die. Sonny is not the one to let people leave too much. However, it is the bomb that can inflict the heaviest blow on Julian. Sonny considers Dev a part of his family, and it is rare that you kill a Sonny family member and live to tell the story. Jason and Sonny will try to figure out exactly how Cyrus planned to get the gift that Julian owed him, as they believe Brad was stabbed in jail. Julian doesn't ask Cyrus to do it, but it has become an important piece of the puzzle for Sonny and Jason. Considering that the big explosion happened and Julian was worried about walking, this is not rocket science. Sonny and Jason finally realize that it was Julian who bombed it. They may also realize that the bomb was for Jason because Cyrus was surprised to meet him at GH. Julian was able to take refuge for a while with the help of Ava Jerome Cassadine, but didn't seem to have much hope for Julian. There is no guarantee that Nicholas Cassadine will save Julian after his sister's grim fate. Sonny, Jason and Cyrus all looked as if they were going to fight Nicholas. Maybe Julian will manage to disappear, but a fatal outcome seems more likely. If Julian came back, the same targets would still be on his back. William DeVry insists anyway he was performed at the General Hospital, so Julian may have been killed. Please like and subscribe to the channel to follow. Thank you, happy.